Before beginning this or any movement program, please seek approval from your physician. By joining me, you're voluntarily participating in this practice, understand potential dangers, and assume and accept all risks. Wandering Lotus Yoga and its employees are not liable for any injury sustained during this practice. So it's great to see everyone. I don't know if you're following what's happening in the natural world the past week or so, but Saturday was a full moon. And this upcoming Friday is Earth Day. So I thought we would focus our practice today on honoring the natural world and our connection to it. So we'll be doing both sun and moon salutations today. Moon salutations don't get incorporated very often into most yoga classes. And we'll be connecting with and practicing shapes of a lot of living beings from the natural world today. So you may want to have a couple of blocks handy. And when we get started in our seated position in butterfly today, I'm going to offer you a mudra. I'm going to show it to you here so that you can see it a little bit more easily. So we're going to bring the ring finger and the thumb together. And this is Prithvi Mudra, and it's a symbol of the earth. And it helps to make us feel more grounded. So it's something that you can do anytime you're feeling a little scattered or ungrounded. So we'll get started in butterfly position here. So we'll bring the soles of the feet together, and you can rest your hands or your forearms on your knees. And depending on how flexible you are in this position, you can bring the heels a little further out for a little bit deeper stretch in the outer hip, or you can bring them further in for a little. Back to Prithvi Mudra. And sitting in, let's see if I can turn my volume up here at all and see if that will help. Sitting in butterfly shape with the soles of the feet together, and the knees can be resting on the blocks if that's comfortable for you. And begin to arrive on your mat, relaxing the gaze or closing the eyes, letting go of the earlier parts of your day. Anything else you need to take care of later this evening, let it all go. And let the next 60 minutes be for your nurturing of mind, body, and spirit. Begin to notice thoughts like clouds, perhaps floating through the mind. Just noticing, not trying to change them, without judgment. Notice your sit bones connected to the earth. Support that is provided you. Notice the sounds coming from around you. Maybe you can hear the wind. Maybe you can hear birds outside. Notice any connection to the natural world in your space. And if you would like to, please make an intention. All intentions are welcome. And go ahead and open the eyes and release the mudra. And today we're going to practice kind of a fun pranayama or breathing technique called Bhramari Pranayama, which translates as bumblebee breath. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you, and then we'll do 5 rounds together. Bumblebee breath is really great for reducing anxiety and reducing when you're kind of in a grumpy mood. So it's something that you can practice anytime on your own. So take the index fingers and you're going to press like you're plugging your ears, like you're pressing the little flap there into the ears. And I'm just going to demonstrate one time and then we'll come into it together. So you're going to press into your ears and then inhaling through the nose with the mouth sealed to a count of about 4. And then exhaling through the nose while humming, making a humming sound to a count of about 4 to 6. So it would look like this. And so we'll do about 5 rounds of those together. So when you're ready, take an inhale through the nose and exhale while humming. And again. Inhaling at your own pace and exhaling. 2 more times at your own pace. And just take a moment to sit in the vibration of the noise that you have created, the sounds that you have created. And then we'll do 5 shoulder rolls towards the back, keeping our butterfly shape. And then 5 shoulder rolls towards the front. And then take an inhale here. And just gently tip the chin up towards the ceiling, as far back as you're comfortable. Inhale to come back to center. And exhale to drop the chin to chest, lengthening the back of the neck. Inhale back to center. Exhale, gaze to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, gaze to the left. Inhale back to center. Place the right hand behind you, fingertips pointing away from you, and place the left hand on the right knee for revolved butterfly. Gazing over the right shoulder. And then inhale, sweep the right arm up. Exhale, side bend to the left, towards the left knee. For revolved butterfly with a side stretch. Inhaling, coming back to center, placing the right hand on the mat and switching hands, placing the right hand on the knee, left hand behind you, fingertips pointing away from you. Inhale to get tall and exhale to twist to the left, gazing over the left shoulder. Take a round of breath here. And then inhale, sweep the left arm up. And exhale, side bend over to the right. And inhaling, coming back to center. Draw the right arm across the front of the chest and use the left hand, left elbow is bent. Use the left hand to press into the right elbow for a deltoid stretch. And then switch sides, left arm drawn across the chest. Use the right arm to press in. Elbow is bent, stretching the left deltoid. And extend both arms out in front of you. Cross the right arm underneath the left. And then you're going to bend the elbows and you're going to bring the palms together for eagle arms. See if you can raise your arms up to shoulder level. And then release the mudra. Cross the left arm underneath the right. Bend the elbows and bring the palms together for eagle arms. Raising the elbows up to shoulder level. And release your mudra. Remove the blocks if you've been using them. And we'll come into a tabletop position. Stacking hips over knees, stacking shoulders over wrists for cat-cow. On an inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tail. And on an exhale, round the spine, tuck the tail, tuck the chin. And inhale into cow, dropping the belly, raising the gaze, raising the tail. Exhale, rounding into cat. And continue a couple more times at your own pace, letting your breath be your guide. And when you feel complete, come to stillness and extend the right leg behind you. Foot is flexed, and the left arm alongside the left ear for bird dog. Option to stay here or option to bend the right knee, shine the heel towards the sky, and reach with the left hand to grasp the right foot, gazing over the left shoulder for bound tiger. Take a round of breath here. Release the bind if you have it, coming back to bird dog, and then releasing down to tabletop. Extend the left leg behind you. Toes are flexed. Extend the right arm alongside the right ear. And bend the left knee, reaching around for the left toes with the right hand, gazing over the right shoulder. Take a round of breath here. And then releasing back into bird dog, returning the knee to the mat, returning the palm to the mat, and sitting back on your heels with fingers pointing away from you. Place your palms on the mat for a variation of Ustrasana, camel pose. Try to keep the neck neutral here. Don't let it hang down. Take a round of breath. Heart is shining forward. And then come back up onto the heels. Bring the hands in front of you and slowly start to crawl the hands towards the top of your mat, sending the chest, the heart, the forehead down to the mat. Hips stay up, not connected to the heels for puppy pose. Take a round of breath here, noticing the opening underneath the armpit. Option to bring the hands together in a prayer position and place them at the back of your neck for a tricep stretch here. And then release the hands back onto the mat. Come back through tabletop, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back into our first downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out the feet, opening up the back of the legs. Relax the shoulders, relax the head. Gazes towards the shins, making sure fingers are spread wide. And then inhale and pick up the right foot. And exhale, draw the knee to the nose for tiger curl. Rounding out the back, opening up the shoulder blades wide. And then extend the foot back to three-legged dog. Place it back on the mat. Inhale to pick up the left foot. And exhale to draw knee to nose for tiger curl. Rounding the back, opening up the shoulder blades. And then inhale to extend back to three-legged dog. Exhale to lower the foot. Inhale to look at the toes. Bend the knees, look at the hands. And exhale to step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Inhale for half lift, flat back. Exhale for a forward fold. Take a moment in your forward fold, let your body be heavy. Opening up the spine, maybe ragdoll the arms. Sway from side to side. And then release the bind. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to circle sweep the arms and come on up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And lower the hands to Tadasana, mountain pose. Try lifting up the toes here in mountain pose and feeling all four corners of the feet connected to the earth. And then place the toes back down on the mat. And then come up on the toes, onto tiptoes. If you want to challenge your balance, you can try closing your eyes. But stay on tiptoes if you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heels. Inhale to sweep the arms up to shoulder height, parallel with the mat. Exhale to twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale to twist to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to lower the arms. From the top of your mat, we're going to come through sun salutations, classical sun salutations. First, to honor the sun and all the energy that it provides for us and the daylight and the vitamin D. So on an inhale, circle, sweep the arms. Exhale to swan dive forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to pick up the left foot and send it back. Drop the knee, untuck the toes. And on an inhale, send the heart forward in low lunge. Exhale to sink the hips a little bit deeper. Frame the foot with the hands, tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. And inhale to bring the right foot to meet the left in plank pose. Exhale to slowly lower, drop the knees, untuck the toes, drop the chin and the chest only, leaving the bum up in the air a little bit for Ashtanga Pranam. And then inhaling, the chest comes through the hands for low cobra. In low cobra, fingertips are underneath the shoulders, legs are zipped up, shoulder blades draw down the back, neck is extended, long. Take a round of breath here. And then tuck the toes, pressing back into downward facing dog. Inhale to pick up the left foot. Send it between the hands at the top of your mat. Drop the back leg, back knee, untuck the back toes. Low lunge. Inhale to shine the heart forward. And exhale to sink a little bit deeper. And then tuck the back toes, pick up the back knee, and bring the right foot to meet the left at the top of your mat. Inhale for half lift. Exhale for forward fold. And inhale to circle sweep the arms. Exhale, hands come to heart center. So that's a round of sun salutations, classical sun salutations. We're now going to do a round of moon salutations. Sun salutations focus on yang and masculine energy and heat, fire. Moon salutations focus on yin and feminine energy and calm and coolness. So moon salutations are a little bit different than sun salutations in that we're not going to start at the top of our mat facing the short edge. We're actually going to start at the right side of the mat with the left side extended off to your left. And we're going to be facing the long edge of the mat. Okay. So on an inhale, circle, sweep the arms, coming into temple pose. So we've done this one before. We're going to interlace the fingers and you're going to keep the index finger and the thumb out. So this is Kali Mudra. So coming into temple pose, take an inhale here and exhale, side bend to the right. Feeling a stretch in the left side body. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling over to the left. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to release the hands. Take a big step to the center of your mat, pointing toes out and heels in, and bend the knees, cactus the arms. And if you'd like to have the palms facing up, like you're holding some dinner plates, stepping into goddess pose. Take a round of breath here in goddess pose. Option to place the hands on the knees for revolved goddess by dipping the right shoulder towards the left knee, opening up the right side of the groin a little bit. Inhaling back up to center and exhaling, dipping the left shoulder over towards the right knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale to stand, raise the arms to shoulder height, parallel to your mat. Toes are facing the left top edge of your mat. Left toes are facing the short left side of your mat. And right foot is at a 90-degree angle, parallel to the back of your mat. So we're setting up for triangle, if that helps. Inhale here and exhale to shift the hips back and folding into triangle pose. Take a round of breath here, keeping a micro bend in the front knee. You might have a block handy to rest the left hand on. Gaze can be straight ahead if that's comfortable for your neck, or if it's okay with your neck, go ahead and look up towards the right hand. Taking a round of breath here. And then inhaling to come up, bringing hands to the hips. And we're going to pivot towards the short edge of the mat. The left foot is going to be our guide. And maybe shorten your stance just a little bit. The back right foot will be at a 45-degree angle. Square the hips towards the short edge of your mat. Inhale here and exhale to fold halfway at first for pyramid pose. Again, you can keep a micro bend in the knee if that feels good for you. And then if it feels okay, you can come all the way down. Maybe a block will be helpful here to bring the floor up to you. Take a round of breath here. And then we'll bend the left knee, pivot the back toes, drop the back knee, untuck the toes, coming into a low lunge. Inhaling here for crescent lunge. Take a round of breath, let the hips sink a little bit deeper. Keep the tail tucked to protect the low back. And then exhaling to frame the left foot. And we're going to pivot towards the long edge of our mat for Skandasana, side lunge. You can take a moment here so the left knee is bent. You can have the right toes flexed and pointed up towards the sky. Or if it's helpful for your balance, you can keep that foot planted. You can have a block here, or you can bring the hands to heart center. Taking a round of breath here. And then we'll come through Skandasana on the left side over to Skandasana on the right side. So a right side lunge, right knee is bent, left toes are flexed, or they could be, the foot could be planted on your mat for support. You can have your hands on your block or on your mat, or you can bring hands to heart center. A round of breath here. And then pivoting towards the short edge of the mat. Right foot is facing the short edge of the mat. Right knee is bent. Lower the left knee, untuck the toes. Inhaling up into crescent lunge. Exhaling to sink a little bit deeper. Frame the right foot. Untuck the toes, lift the back knee, and come on up to pyramid pose to prepare for pyramid pose. So the back foot is at about a 45-degree angle. Shorten your stance if you need to. Right toes are pointed towards the short edge of your mat. Hands are on your hips. Inhale to get tall and exhale to fold over halfway. Maybe you have a micro bend in the knee. And then if you feel comfortable coming all the way down, hands can come to the mat or to your blocks. Taking a round of breath here in pyramid, feeling a pretty nice stretch in the right hamstring. And then inhaling to come on up. Extend the arms out long. Back foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat. Front toes are pointing towards the top edge of your mat. Inhale to float the hips back and exhale into triangle pose. Keeping a micro bend in the front knee. Maybe you have a block for support underneath the right hand. Gaze can be straight ahead or up at the left hand. Taking a round of breath here. And then inhaling to come on up. And pivoting the toes out, heels in, sitting back into our goddess pose. Option here to come up on the toes in goddess and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower the heels. Inhale to straighten the legs and lower the arms. Exhale to step towards the left edge of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Interlace the fingers, leaving the thumb and index finger separate for Kali Mudra. Take an inhale here. And exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale back to center. And exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale back to center. And release the hands at your side. That's half of our moon salutation. So now we have to get ourselves back to the other edge of our mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, interlace the fingers, Kali Mudra. Index finger, thumb are separate. Take an inhale here and exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, release the hands. Take a wide step to the center of your mat. Pivot the toes out and the heels in. Bend the knees over the toes. Cactus the arms. You can raise the palms towards the ceiling or towards the sky if you like for goddess pose. Take a round of breath here. And inhale to straighten the legs. Pivot the right toes towards the top edge of your mat. Back foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. Inhale, raise the arms up, parallel with the earth. Float the left hip back and exhaling into triangle pose. Keeping a micro bend in the front knee. Maybe your gaze is up at the left hand. Inhale to come back up, hands to hips, and shift the hips towards the top edge of your mat. Square the hips with the top edge of your mat. Right foot is facing forward. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Shorten your stance if you need to. Inhale here, and exhale, fold halfway into pyramid. Take a round of breath here. And inhale to come back up. Exhale to frame the front foot. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Inhaling into crescent lunge. And exhaling to frame the front foot. Pick up the back toes. Lift the knee and pivot towards the long edge of your mat, coming into Skandasana on the right side this time. Left foot is flexed or can be planted for stability. You can have your block, or you can have your hands on the mat, or you can bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Take a round of breath here. And then shifting over to Skandasana on the other side, on the left side. Again, the right foot can be flexed or it can be planted. You can have your block, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Taking a round of breath in Skandasana. And then pivoting towards the short edge of your mat, bringing your feet with you, dropping the back knee, untucking the toes, inhaling, sweeping the arms up for crescent moon, low crescent moon. And then exhaling to frame the left foot, pick up the back toes, pick up the knee, press the hips back. Draw the right foot in a little bit at a 45-degree angle. Come on up, hands on your hips for pyramid pose. Hips are square towards the short edge of your mat. Take an inhale here and exhale halfway, flat back. You're not going all the way down this time. Inhaling to come up. Separating the feet a little bit further apart. The back foot is parallel with the back edge of your mat. Inhale, bring the arms up parallel with the earth. Hips are open to this long edge of your mat here. Float the right hip back and exhaling into triangle pose. Again, micro bend in the knee if that feels good for you. You can bring the block here. Gaze can be straight ahead or up at the right hand. Take a round of breath here. And then inhaling to come back up. pivoting the toes out and the heels in, bending the knees, cactusing the arms for goddess pose. And then inhale to straighten the knees. Step the left foot to meet the right side of your mat. Inhale, interlace the hands, interlace the fingers, Kali Mudra. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, back to center. And release the hands. That's it. You've done a full round of moon salutations. Congratulations. Very good job. We're going to practice a few more standing poses and then we'll head down to the mat. So we'll practice tree here. So grounding the feet into the mat, feeling your connection with the earth. All four corners of the feet are connected with the earth. Pick up the left heel, the left ball of your foot, and put your toes on the mat. And you can pivot the left knee open, and you can place the left sole of the foot onto the calf here. Or if it feels okay, you can bring the sole of the foot up into the inner thigh. Look for a place that is not moving, maybe on the wall in front of you or whatever's in front of you, or maybe on the floor, and try to focus your gaze on that. That will help with balance. If you want to challenge your balance, you can try closing your eyes. You can bring your hands to heart center. And when you feel really grounded and really rooted, you can grow your branches, bringing the arms up overhead. Take a round of breath here. And then slowly lower the arms and lower the foot. We'll come into flamenco. Inhale the right arm up alongside the ear. And then bend the left knee and reach down with the left hand to grasp the outside of the left ankle for flamingo. Take a round of breath here. And then lower the left foot slowly, lower the right hand. And we'll come to tree on the other side. So pick up the ball of the right foot, toes are pressed into the mat, spin the right knee open, and then bring the sole of the right foot to the calf. Or if it feels okay, you can bring it to the inner thigh. Notice the difference on this side. Usually, most people have a very different experience on each side, so that's pretty common. Take a moment to find your balance, find that spot that's not moving, whether it's on the ground or in the wall in front of you. And then maybe bring the hands to heart center. And if and when you're ready, let the branches grow. If you start to sway, don't give up. Trees sway. And when you're ready, slowly lower the hands, lower the foot, coming back to mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the left arm up alongside the ear and bend the right knee, reaching down with the right hand to find the right foot for flamingo. And then releasing the right foot, releasing the left hand. And at the top of your mat, inhale, circle sweep the arms. Exhale to swan dive forward. Inhale for half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to step back to plank pose. Exhale to lower yourself onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Bring the hands next to your hips, setting up for locust pose. Head can be resting on the mat. And on an inhale, peel up the head, the chest, and the arms only. Legs stay on the mat. And exhale to lower. And on the next inhale, raise the legs only, keeping the palms pressed into the mat. And exhale to lower. And on the next inhale, everything comes up. Hands, draw the shoulder blades together, feet, squeeze the inner thighs together. Keep the neck neutral. Take a round of breath here. And then lower back down. And one more time. This time we'll interlace the fingers behind the back, drawing the shoulder blades together, pressing the knuckles towards the feet. And then on an inhale, bringing everything up. Take a round of breath here. And then exhale to lower. Stack one hand on top of the other underneath the forehead, coming into crocodile pose. Take 2 rounds of breath here. Letting go of all the work of sun salutations and moon salutations. And just taking a moment to rest. On your next inhale, draw the right knee towards the right elbow for half frog. Take 2 rounds of breath here. And then we'll extend the left arm alongside the left ear, resting the head on the left arm. We still have our right knee drawn up towards the right elbow. And we're going to slowly roll over onto the left side, keeping that right knee bent. And then bend the left knee toward bringing the toes towards the glutes. And reaching around with the right hand, see if you can find those left toes for cat pulling its tail. Take 2 rounds of breath here. And release the toes. Roll back onto the belly. Come back into the crocodile pose with hands stacked on top of each other. And bring the right toes down to meet the left, returning to crocodile. Taking a round of breath here. And then draw the left knee up towards the left elbow, or half frog on the left side. And take 2 rounds of breath here. And then extend the right arm alongside the right ear. Rest the right ear on top of the right upper arm. And then slowly use the left hand to push yourself over onto the right side. And extend the left toes towards the glutes. the right toes towards the glutes, reaching around with the left hand for cat pulling its tail. Take 2 full rounds of breath here. And then release the toes. Roll back onto the belly. Bring the hands back underneath the head for crocodile pose. And one more breath here. And then we'll press up into a tabletop. And we'll come through to a seated position to set up for deer. I'm going to face the camera, so it may be a little bit easier for you to see me. So in deer, the front leg, we'll start with the right leg in front, will be bent at about a 90-degree angle. It doesn't have to be exactly 90 degrees. And then the back leg will also be bent at a 90-degree angle behind you. So you've got your front leg bent in front of you with the shin parallel with your mat, and then your back leg toes pointed away. And already you might feel a pretty significant stretch in your left hip. And if that's too much for you, you can always close this gap by bringing the sole of the right foot on top of the left knee. I like to leave it open, so that's what I'll do. So inhale to get tall, and exhale to fold over the right shin. You might find a block helpful here. We're going to stay here for about 30 seconds or so. So you might start with your block on the high setting. And as you get comfortable in the shape, you might lower it to a low setting. And then press to come up. And bring the legs together, and we'll windshield wiper the legs a little bit. And we'll do the other side. So the left shin is extended in front of you. Knee is bent at about a 90-degree angle. And the right leg is extended behind you. Knee is bent at, again, about 90 degrees. And inhale to get tall. And exhale to fold over into reclined deer. Maybe you bring a block under the forehead. Maybe your forehead reaches the mat. Maybe the distance between your forehead and the mat changes. Feel free to adjust your block. Remembering to breathe deeply. And then press to come on up. And windshield wiper the legs a little bit. And we'll set up for caterpillar pose. So extend the legs in front of you, but we don't really need to straighten the legs as much as we would for staff pose. The knees can have a little bit of a bend in them. And we're going to slowly start to roll forward over the legs with a rounded spine, reaching for the ankles or the calves or the toes. Maybe you bend your knees. Elbows are bent, kind of heavy towards your mat. And take 3 rounds of breath here. And we'll transition from caterpillar back to our butterfly pose. So rolling up slowly, 1 vertebra at a time, and then bringing the soles of the feet together. You might want to block, perhaps for this version, we're going to come into a forward fold and butterfly. I like to place a block between my feet, so gripping the block with the soles of my feet, and then inhaling to get tall, and then exhaling to slowly fold forward. Maybe your forehead comes to rest on the block. Option to thread the arms underneath the legs. Option to interlace the fingers with the toes. And take 3 rounds of breath here. And then if you took any kind of bind, go ahead and release that. And slowly start to roll up, 1 vertebra at a time. Scooting the hips forward, feet are planted, knees are bent. Hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards the body. And on an inhale, pressing the belly and the hip points up towards the sky for crab. Take a round of breath here. And then slowly lowering onto the mat. Extend the legs long in front of you. And then bend 1 elbow and then the other. Tucking the fingers perhaps underneath the sacrum for fish pose. You can keep the neck neutral, or if it's comfortable for you, you can let the head hang back. Take a round of breath here. And then slowly lower yourself onto your back. Bend the left knee. Cross the right ankle over the left knee for reclined pigeon. Draw the left knee in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers either around the back of the left thigh or around the left shin. Drawing that left knee towards the chest, pressing the right knee away from the face. Take a round of breath here. And then lower the left foot to the mat, uncross the legs, and bring the left ankle on top of the right knee. Inhale to draw the right knee towards the chest. Interlace the fingers, placing them either behind the right thigh or around the outside of the right shin. Drawing the right knee closer to the chest and pressing the left knee away from the face. Take a breath here. And then release the grip. Place the right foot back on the mat. Uncross the legs. And take a happy baby pose. Soles of the feet towards the sky. Hands can be around the outside or the inside of the foot. Knees are bent. pressing the sacrum into the mat. Maybe it feels good to roll around a little bit. When you're ready to let go of happy baby, find your Shavasana shape. You could choose a traditional Shavasana shape today with legs extended towards either corner of your mat, palms facing up. Or you could choose reclined butterfly today with the soles of the feet together, knees open. And let go of all the work that you've done today. Remind yourself that you are part of the natural world. Take time in your day to honor the natural world and connect with it. Imagine a gentle ocean breeze dusting lightly across your face, caressing the shoulders, extending along the arms, kissing the belly, drifting along the legs, and reaching the toes, and relax into final resting pose, Shavasana. When you're ready to come back to the physical body, begin to stir movement in fingers and toes. Maybe reaching your arms overhead, taking a full body stretch. Rolling to the side of your choice for side resting pose for just a moment. And then pressing up, returning to, let's return to butterfly pose, the way we started. And inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Thank yourself for taking care of your mind, body, and spirit today. And reminding yourself that you are part of the natural world. Thank you all for joining me in this practice. May our practice benefit all beings. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to look into the audio issues that we had today and see if I can listen back and see how that sounded and if there's anything I can do to fix that. So thanks, everyone. Have a great week. I'll be sending out the link for you and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.